Hello friends, I am back for week 2 of She's Crafty's 6x6 class challenge that she's doing. And I showed you the sketch right there, and I'm using Girl Squad. And as you can see, my photos are of my son, not a girl. And I decided I would take a second challenge of using this in a boy's layout for his album. So these photos are of our neighborhood cotton candy day. They had a cotton candy like food truck come out and make cotton candy for everybody. And my daughter wasn't feeling like she wanted to go out, and so she asked if we'd bring one back. And I said, well, what flavor do you want? And she said, I don't know, pink. And when we got there, they had a sign that said, pink is not a flavor. And so we had to take a picture to show her. It was just funny. But I am just going through this 6x6 pad and pulling some papers that I feel like aren't too girly that I can pull on this page. There obviously is pink in my photos, and so I'm okay there being a little bit of pink. So I grabbed the black with some words on it. There is a blue with like guitars and stuff on it that's like almost like a tone on tone. There's a blue with some ice cream cones that kind of look like cotton candy to me. And then the stripe that is going to bring in all the other colors, and then that dark green. Now, I decide to use this black and pull it all the way across to my layout. And in the sketch, it does look like it's a 3x12. But the nice thing about the 6x6 is I can just cut it in half and stretch it all the way across and then cover the seam with my photo so that you cannot see that there is a seam. So like the last video, just remember that when you're looking at sketches, like how you can manipulate it to work with what you have, especially if you're using scraps like I like to use a lot. So that's just another good idea. Now I did trim my photos down to 3x4s. And I decide I want to double back them, but I want to back them in white first. And so just like my last video, these papers are not double-sided. They are only one-sided, and it's white on the back. So I'm just using the back of a couple of the papers that are not my favorite, and use that to back my photos. And then I decide to take that blue with like the guitars and stuff on it to do the double back, but I don't have enough of it, so I find this other blue paper that has like bicycles on it, and I figure you're not really going to be able to tell what's on the paper anyway, so I do use that as my second back picture, if that made sense. And then I'm just going to start gluing everything down. This is where I decide that my photos are blending into the background too much. So I take out my black soot distress oxide, or I think that's what it is called, and one of my blending tools here, and I'm just going to ink around my photos. I do contemplate on pulling everything up and inking everything, but I'm like, no, it's already glued down. It is what it is, right? Did you guys see how my blending tools were organized? So I found somebody on YouTube, and they had their blending tools, and they had found a nail polish holder, and that's what their blending tools are in, so that they each have their own spot and it's not getting ink and like mixing the ink. So I found me one at home, and I'm super excited because now they are organized and they're not going to be mixing colors. So yay! Now I'm just going through all of the other bits in this collection's kit that I created. I do thumb through this and think, hey, maybe I should add one of these. You guys, these have been in my stash probably since I started scrapbooking in high school. I don't know if it's that long, but they've been in my stash for a really long time. And I've never used them, not once. So I was like, I gotta use these. But guess what? I don't use it. It's okay. So I'm going through my titles and things, and there's that title right there that says the good stuff. And I know that that's going to be my title for my page because it just goes so well. And then there's like the cute little arrow. Yes. I can point towards the photo of cotton candy. So I am using some fun foam to back my photos, and then I will start working on putting my title down. I do, before I put my title down, I go through the little cut aparts and I think, okay, there's got to be a few that aren't totally girly that I can use. So there's this cell phone that says hi, and then this little and sign. And so I decide that those are the two I'm going to use. And on the sketch, there's actually a third photo down in the right hand corner, and I don't have a third photo. So I decide to use these two things to kind of symbolize that third photo on the sketch. And of course I had the black and white striped bow, so I do add that to that little cluster down there in the right hand corner. And I moved my page and realized, oh, my photos aren't glued down. I probably should do that. So I did do that. And then there are all these other pieces. I'm just going through kind of seeing, do I want to use them? I definitely don't want to use these flourishes. That makes it so girly. And so I skip on those. And then I have these foam stickers, and I've never used them, and they work so well with this collection. So I decided to pull out and do the year 2020 with them, which uses all of the 2s and all of the 0s. So that sucks, but it is what it is. I finally used them. And so I put 2020 right here on the black so it does stand out more. And then next I go through this stickers. They have these little plus signs or X's, whatever you want to call them. And so I decided to pull those. They're black, and it's just going to kind of pull that shiny black across the page there. And I do have to use liquid adhesive on these because they're not very sticky. And I'm kind of nervous because when I first got this, I have used this pack before and I just stuck it down. So I got to go figure out where I used it and put some extra glue on there because I did not. I know I didn't. So I will have to figure out where that is. And then I decide I'm going to do my squiggle lines around my page, but my journaling pen has been kind of dead. I need to order a few more. I don't have any more in my stock, and so I decided to just pull out my black marker and use that instead, and I actually really like how thick it is, so it turned out pretty cute. And then it's just throwing more black around the page. Now I add splatters to everything. I pull out the lime and the turquoise gloss spray that we carry at Close to My Heart, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. I think the lime will be cute because there's lime in that striped paper, but really that's the only place there's lime, and that other green paper is darker. And so I do decide to go with the turquoise, and I feel like it'll just kind of be a tone on tone where I splatter it. And so I do decide to do that. I cover my photos, and then I decide I want to cover this cluster kind of because I really don't want a lot of spots on that white paper. And then I'm just going to tap out some of that gloss spray around my page. And I do some journaling off screen and add that to my layout. But that's going to finish the layout, you guys. I really like the way this turned out, and I'm having so much fun with this challenge, really taking me out of my comfort zone using those 6x6 pads, but I really like it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.